All right, listen, people keep asking Columbus has actually hit the ceiling, and all I can do is laugh at that. Guys, listen, I live here, I see it every single day, and we're not even close. This city is about to go from underrated to unstoppable. You got sleepy suburbs transforming into innovation hubs and infrastructure investments that are decades away from what other Midwestern cities are even considering. And listen, this is the wild part. All of this is already locked and loaded. The foundations are poured, the partnerships are signed, and the momentum is building. This isn't just wishful thinking, guys. It's home. And if you think you know where Columbus is headed, just give me about 10 minutes, and I'll prove to you why you're sleeping on America's best kept secret. All right, hey, what's up, guys? It's Gagan here, your favorite realtor. And let me make this crystal clear. This isn't just some Columbus tourism pitch or some listicle about where to grab the best Buckeyes candy, right? This is the Columbus that I live every single day. The Columbus that's scaling up faster than most people can even process. And if you're not paying attention to all the signals, guys, you're going to miss the massive shift that's going to define us for the next 2 decades. So let's start with the foundations. And that's going to be the flood of talent and families pouring into Central Ohio every single month. And this is what's creating a new type of community, and I'm calling it the smart burbs. Or if you want to think about it, honestly, I don't have a definition for it just yet either. If you don't know what that means, let me explain that to you. You see, I've been watching the city surge like a tide, and now it's kind of at a tipping point. Columbus isn't just growing right now, guys. It's actually pulling in people from every major market and from all across the globe. And they're not just trickling either. It's a full-grown migration. We're talking about Californians that are selling their multi-million-dollar cracker box and landing a Columbus home with actual space and a backyard for the kids. East Coast professionals are trading subway delays for bike paths and a cost of living that actually makes sense. Even folks from Chicago and Detroit are making the move down here to Columbus because they see what's next. And that's going to be a place where you can innovate. That's going to be a place where families grow and where you've got a paycheck that actually goes somewhere meaningful. Look, Columbus has this built to last energy type of vibe, and honestly, I could never see myself living anywhere else. But look, here's the thing, not everyone's actually piling to Columbus proper either. People are planting flags in places most outdoors have actually never heard of. Dublin, for example. Dublin is a straight-up tech powerhouse. Intel's $20 billion chip factory is transforming the entire corridor. Now, that's another conversation for another day. But Bridge Park is the master plan community where you can actually walk from your condo to world-class dining to riverfront concerts. I want you to picture this Saturday morning at the Dublin Farmer Market, then cruising over to the Scioto Mile for an afternoon by the water, all while living in a neighborhood that didn't exist about 5 years ago. That's what's happening right here. Worthington has gone from this quiet suburb to a cultural destination, historic downtown mixed with new development that actually respects the character while adding some serious amenities. Sunday afternoon, locals are hitting the antique shops on high streets, catching a show at the McConnell Art Center before dinner at one of the chef-driven spots that keeps popping up. And let me tell you, it keeps popping up. If you look up in Powell, it's multiplying at a pace that you can only really see with your own eyes. You can drive past the Olentangy River and beyond the golf courses and hit neighborhoods. There's this redefining of what suburban living actually looks like. Commutes to downtown or the tech quarters take about 20 minutes, but residents still keep all the green space and community feel that actually drew them there in the first place. And all these things are what I love about Columbus, but these aren't just suburbs anymore either, guys. They're actually their own innovation ecosystem with corporate campuses, research facilities, and energy that rivals, I'll say it, any major metro. People live, work, and build careers here without having to deal with the big city hassle, and that's the shift that's redefining how Central Ohio actually operates. And the population surges can act like a rocket fuel for everything else as well. We're talking housing, schooling, businesses, infrastructure. Every sector is shifting into high gear, but demand can create opportunity, and opportunity pulls in more talent, and the cycle pushes Columbus into a decade of nonstop acceleration. All right, so let me pause this for just 2 seconds. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Gagan Timsina with the Timsina Real Estate Team. And my real estate team and I, we help families, professionals, and newcomers find exactly where they belong right here in Central Ohio. Because this is a lot of information, let's be honest. We'll help you find the perfect neighborhood down to the coffee shops that you want to call your local. So if you're thinking about making a move here, guys, feel free to reach out. All of our contact information is down in the description below, and it's also pinned to the top of the chat. All right, and that's just the people portion of the boom, right? The next reason why Columbus is set to dominate, guys, is going to be the multi-billion-dollar corporate power plays that are rewriting our entire economic landscape and transforming the job market, Columbus in as one of the country's most unstoppable growth engines. So here's the thing. Columbus isn't just growing, guys. This place is actually stacking wins faster than the Buckeyes in November. We're talking tech, logistics, healthcare, finances, all firing on all different cylinders at the exact same time here. And that's not just normal in every metro. Listen, I've got friends that live all across this country. It's not normal. None of these cities are just amateur hour when you're comparing them to what Central Ohio is becoming. But look, most cities, they got one industry that's really carrying the weight. Here you got 4 major sectors, and let me tell you, they're all sprinting, and they're sprinting fast. And you can see it if you just drive down 270, guys. Downtown's cranes are still climbing. Over in Easton, it feels like rush hour at 2 p.m. Every restaurant is packed, every parking spot is taken. Research corridor along 315, you got innovation hubs, corporate headquarters stretching as far as you can see. And we can't forget about logistics either. Rickenbacker International Airport isn't just moving packages, it's moving the entire supply chain for half of the country. Listen, I'm telling you guys, from the air, Columbus looks like someone maxed out the city building game, and now they're adding even more expansion packages to it. Listen, we've got Amazon, Google, and every major player that you can name pouring in money right here into Central Ohio. But here's the thing that I actually love about it. This isn't just corporate speak and job statistics. Software developers grabbing craft beers in German Village after a crew game. It's logistics coordinators in Hilliard who's got a quarter-ace garden out back and a 25-minute commute to the distribution center. Or it's a researcher in the medical corridor watching a new facility go up month after month after month. These corporate moves bleed into our everyday life, guys. Better schools, better neighborhoods, and honestly, a weekend that feels a lot more vibrant. So let me just stir the pot just a little bit, okay? If you ever had to put your money down right now about what part of Central Ohio is about to explode next, downtown's Innovation District, Dublin's Tech Corridor, or one of those under-the-radar spots like Grove City, that's gonna just shock everyone, right? Let us know in the comments below, where are you thinking? I want to see what you guys are placing your bets on. But up next, we're leaving the office parks and distribution hub behind, and we're walking straight into the future. We're talking about multi-billion-dollar mega projects and neighborhoods wired for the next decades, and a transformation that's going to make the rest of the Midwest take notice. All right, so you know the saying, right? Ohio does things right the first time, and Columbus does not do small upgrades. We've got whole districts and flip them into something that looks like it's from the straight future. I want you to look at the Scioto Peninsula development downtown, right? They're pouring billions into the waterfront district with mixed-use towers, innovation spaces, and public areas that connect directly to the riverfront trails. Picture leaving a Blue Jacket game and walking along a lit pathway that guides you into rooftop dining overlooking the Scioto River. Or parking your bike at a charging station while grabbing coffee at a cafe that's monitoring everything from air quality to foot traffic. Even the streetlights are connected to the grid. It's Columbus's innovation, it's practical, it's forward-thinking, and it's also built to last. And this next one, I've mentioned it before, but it's worth highlighting every single video, guys. The Smart Columbus initiative, it's not just tech buzzwords, it's reshaping how we move through the city. Real-time traffic optimization, connected vehicle infrastructure, and mobility hubs that make getting around feel effortless instead of stressful. And listen, Columbus's traffic is gotten worse. If you look over in the short north, the development boom is adding a sophistication that rivals any coastal cities. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking high streets, rooftop spaces where you can actually watch the city lights stretch from the horizon, and ground floor establishments that make you want to walk instead of drive everywhere. The much anticipated riverfront expansion is transforming the Olentangy and Scioto corridors into actual destinations, guys. And I want you to think about weekend mornings that just start with you kayaking downtown. Continue that with brunch in Italian Village, and end that with live music in Goodall Park. All connected by trails that make the whole city feel like your neighborhood. That's unique, and honestly, it's one of the reasons that I love this place. It's not just thinking about what's happening now, it's also thinking about the future. These projects are not just changing the skyline, they're changing how people live, work, and spend their time. A family can start Saturday at Kosai, biking to the Olentangy Trail, grab dinner in Grandview, and never worry about parking or traffic, right? And that's not just a development, that's a lifestyle shift. So let's talk about the infrastructure behind that. What's actually making all of this possible? The highways, the transit lines, the connected projects that are stretching the whole metro tighter than it's ever been before. Let's be honest about something, okay? Columbus's traffic has gotten worse. Now, it's not LA or Atlanta, but we've all been stuck on 270 long enough to question our route choices, staring at the same backup line, which feels like forever. But 2025 is where Central Ohio really starts to flow differently. The Link US initiative is, well, it's the headline move. It's going to be a comprehensive rapid transit system connecting every major corridor in the metro. Honestly, here's how I want you to picture it. It's Monday morning, you're in Westero, coffee in hand, and instead of wrestling the morning rush, you're cruising past it on effective transit that drops you downtown before you could finish your podcast. And brilliant thing is it connects New Albany, Reynoldsburg, and Hilliard, guys. It's all on this same system. Now listen, for people who've always planned their lives around drive time, this, well, it's a complete game changer, let's be honest. And now my road warriors are not going to be left behind either. The 270 improvements are smoothing out these choke points that have been slowing us down for years. And when we're talking about connectivity, the 33 Smart Mobility Corridor is turning the road to Lancaster and beyond into a high-tech highway that communicates with your vehicle. And listen, we're talking about reimagined neighborhoods, corporate headquarters relocating from the coast, and small towns on the edge of the metro exploding into full-blown destinations. And listen, it's all happening in real time, and I'm right here documenting it all. But it's not just concrete and rail lines either. The bike infrastructure, explosion downtown, and the new pedestrian bridge all over the rivers are giving people ways to connect that, well, it doesn't involve just sitting in traffic. I got a question for you. If you could cut commute time in half, what would you do with the extra hours? Would you spend at the gym? Maybe explore more neighborhoods, spend more time in a coffee shop that you've never been to? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always curious about what people think and what people are, well, they want to do with all the extra freedom. Here's the thing. All of this adds up to one thing. The metro is becoming more connected than ever. Listen, soon the family up in Delaware can see downtown Columbus as a totally reasonable daily commute. Someone in Grove City can take a tech job in Dublin without white-knuckling through rush hour, and weekends open up too. German Village, the Arena District, and an afternoon in Clintonville suddenly all feel like options, not major expeditions. And all this new connectivity, it's not just saving you drive time, it's opening doors to the experience that makes you think, dang, this is definitely where I want to be. We're talking about the food scenes, the music venues, and the moments that turn a city into a home. All right, so check it. Columbus isn't just building infrastructure. It's building experiences you actually want to be a part of. Picture this, okay? Sipping a locally roasted coffee on the patio in German Village after a productive week, right? The brick streets are buzzing with people exploring the bookshops and boutiques. Or you're tracking down the best ramen with friends under the glow of the short north and neon's light. Guys, every neighborhood in the metro feels like it's got its own personality and its own story. The city's food scene has absolutely exploded, with chefs turning both historic spaces and brand new developments into destinations for incredible flavors. From rooftop bunches in the Arena District that's going to make your social feed pop, to the late night food truck rallies that make communities celebrate, Columbus serves it up with pride and authenticity. And the art and the culture, they're not just events here, they're woven into everyday life. We're talking about galleries into converted warehouses that showcase local and international talents, music venues that range from intimate to arena-sized, and festival theaters, pop-ups that keep your calendar full and filled with energy. Listen, Columbus is also quietly establishing itself as a destination for major events, right? I want you to think of international conferences, e-sport tournaments, and music festivals that bring the world to Central Ohio. The convention centers, the entertainment districts stay busy year-round, turning ordinary weekends into celebrations without leaving your own backyard. And honestly, you get all of this without the crushing cost that comes with other major metros. A loft with skyline views here that costs less than a studio apartment in San Francisco. Listen, Families find home here with actual yard and enough budget left over to enjoy the crew game or explore local brewery scenes. Listen, Columbus is no longer a place people just pass through or fly over. It's a destination that makes you want to put your roots down, host gatherings, and tell everyone you know that it is where the momentum is building. And when you stack all these factors, the growth, the corporate expansion, the smart infrastructure, the transportation improvements, and the culture, you're looking at a Columbus that isn't just developing, it's setting the standard for what the next generation of America should be. So let's cut to the chase. Columbus isn't just growing, it's leading a way forward. The city is writing a new playbook with every family that chooses to relocate here, and every major company that sets up operation, every neighborhood that's redefining what smart urban living actually looks like. Guys, we've seen how the talent migration is turning suburbs into innovation centers, right? How the mega investments are reshaping our economic landscape, and how infrastructure upgrades are finally connecting this metro like the way that it was meant to be connected. It's not just about the buildings or the roads. It's about the quality of life between them. It's about, well, the opportunities, the community, the culture, and the energy that actually transforms a city into a place that you genuinely get excited to call home. And look, if you're ready to stop wondering and start exploring your perfect spot in this rapid evolving city, we're here to guide you through every step. We know the neighborhoods, we know the schools, we know the emerging areas, and we're ready to connect you whether you're buying your first place or upgrading to your dream home. Guys, please feel free to reach out to us. All of our contact information is down in the description below, and it's also pinned to the top of the chat as well. If you're not quite ready to make your move, no problem, right? I've got you covered. We have a comprehensive playlist full of deep dives into Columbus's neighborhoods, cost comparisons, new development, inside knowledge, and everything that you need to stay ahead of the curve right here. And all you gotta do is check this video out right here, watch it, and I'll see you soon. Peace.